Welcome to the Hot Seat powered by Affordable Staff. David Judge, and here we are at Season 2, Episode 11 of the Hot Seat, where we release a new episode every second Tuesday, and we talk to industry influencers that have worked hands-on in the real estate industry, and we find out where these influencers see current and future trends, and what you can do about it to support and grow your business. Now, in today's episode, we're interviewing Kaly Smith, who is the owner and property specialist of KM Property Solutions. Now, there are a number of reasons we're excited to be interviewing Kaly, especially that Kaly is out there, practicing and preaching every single day what she does. So everything you're hearing in this interview, she's doing on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so a couple of the key highlights in this interview include how Kaly was able to single-handedly manage 160 properties, 60 storage sheds whilst running reception at the age of 21, the importance of being out of the office and in front of clients and not being stuck behind a keyboard and desk and a phone, how artificial intelligence and technology will impact our business and whether or not it's going to remove that human element from the business and how much of it it's going to replace, how Kaly is using Airbnb to create multiple streams of income for her property management business, and finally, how property managers need to actually stop, take a breath, look at what's coming up, what's trending, and take the time to implement it so they can move their business to the next level. So Kaly is out there doing the do every single day. And we've been watching Kaly over the last 2 years, and we've watched how she's adapting to change and flourishing in a competitive industry. In fact, when you see this interview, you can hear why Kaly is considered to be the future of the industry and some of the steps that she's taking to ensure that she is staying on top of an ever-evolving industry. Okay, this is enough of me talking. Let's get into it and listen to the episode and roll it. Welcome to the Hot Seat powered by Affordable Staff. I have
Damien.
And we have
Kaly.
And I'm David. So thank you, Kaly, for coming on the Hot Seat.
Thank you.
In the interest of transparency, we're recording this interview the second time because I forgot to push record. So this should be very interesting to see how we go. Every time, we've had to do it before, every time we have had to re-record, the conversation flows and goes different directions. So
we'll see how we go.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so as you know, we're going to be talking to you about how you've come into the industry, where you are now, and where you see yourself going in the future.
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
Lovely.
So let's start with, tell us about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm just turned 30. Yes. I'm a mother of two beautiful children, Tilly and Jai, 6 and 4, and a very supportive husband. And I run and own my own agency in Albury-Wodonga.
Interesting location. So you've always been from Albury-Wodonga?
Yeah, born and bred there.
And bred?
Yeah, and we're on the border, so I deal with 2 trust accounts and 2 legislations, New South and Vic. Yeah.
Really?
Interesting.
Pain in the bottom.
Yes. And do you think the fact that you were born and bred has helped you to establish yourself in the business?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I know my market. I know the area. I know the community. People know me. So yeah, definitely.
And the population?
We're sitting about 150,000.
Okay. And is it, so I come from a small country town of 12,000.
Yeah.
Where everybody knows everybody. Does it have that feel, or is it more?
No, it does. Yeah, it definitely have that feel. Yeah, everyone knows everyone. Yeah,
So
pretty much.
How did you get into real estate?
Well, real estate, I guess I started out in the conveyancing side of things, so not so much the property or property management or sales. I got a traineeship after leaving school. Fortunately, didn't get the uni scores. I actually wanted to be a nurse.
Okay.
And then go into being a doctor. I didn't get the scores, so I thought, okay, what next?
So you're okay with blood?
No, I'm not actually. It's probably, fate. And I started a traineeship at a law firm and worked on the conveyancing side of things. Did that for 2 years, worked for a property valuer, and then moved to Queensland for 6 months, moved back and got a job as a receptionist and property management assistant locally. Yeah.
So the transition across to property management, how did that come about?
So unfortunately, the property manager got fired and I was the next point of line. This 21-year-old, you're property manager now. And I was like, what? Yes. And it was basically sink or swim. Yeah. Didn't really have an idea. It was kind of just, okay, I've just got to roll with the punches now.
So, do you think that set you up?
Definitely.
Where you are now?
Yeah, definitely. It was. I think when you put on the spot, you kind of take charge. Well, that's the type of personality I am is, okay, well, what's next, so planning and organisation. So yeah, I think so.
And what sort of support network did you have at the time when you first started?
No one. Like in terms of the office?
Yeah.
No one, it was me.
And outside of the office, any other support network at all?
It was him, a sales agent, and myself as a receptionist and the property manager. So when he fired her, it was me.
Okay.
I was managing at that time 160 60 storage sheds and running reception, and just turned 21.
Really? So let's delve into that, because I'm really interested. How did that look when you first started?
It was, I was taken aback. I'm like, okay, what have I got to do? But I think I had a smart head, and I think that helped from when I did my traineeship at the law firm, because that was really strict. It was Mr. and Mrs. and it was very regimented and structured. So I think I learnt those sort of processes then that helped me in there. But yeah, it was hard at the start. I actually got out of real estate. I was there for 2 years when I took on the property management, got out of that and went and worked for a bank.
Okay.
For 10 months, because I just felt like I was becoming a little bit sour in the industry and just wasn't liking who I was becoming, because it is so full on, and it's kind of, you're the middleman, and but then obviously I loved it, and
so then you step back in again.
I did. Banking was a little bit boring.
I can imagine a bit repetitive.
And
look at that industry now, it's really evolved, and
it has.
They're shutting banks. People that are in banks now, most of them have to stand all the time.
Well, they don't have tellers. You just go and do it yourself now. It's a little bit sad in a way, but I guess it's just how it's moving.
So do you ever think, do you see property management ending up like that, where you just go and do it all yourself?
I do, yeah. I also see a lot of, businesses not actually having offices. I see a lot of staff working remotely from home. With the likes of our cloud access, our technology, the automation, I think there's no need for a big glass office. I'm moving office, and I'm not moving into a big glass office because I don't need it.
Yes.
I'm out on the road. I'm meeting clients out on the road. We're just moving into a small little office. That's enough. An open plan office. That's all you need now.
And do you see that as a competitive edge, being able to
definitely.
be out?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. I'm not stuck inside an office being that keyboard warrior. I'm out face to face meeting clients, still using technology and automation, all of those sorts of things, but I'm me.
So what are you seeing as the biggest challenge right now in real estate?
Challenge is time for implementation. Like conferences, you come to conferences, we learn a lot of things, new technology, new way of doing things, but I think people say property managers, we're so busy, which yes, we are, but we need to make time for that. So I think that is probably one of the challenges, that a lot of people want to go to the next level in terms of customer experience and taking their business to the next level, but it's, struggling for that time.
Is it they don't know where to start? Or
definitely.
Or is there too many bright, shiny lights?
Sometimes, too many bright, shiny lights and not knowing where to start. But sometimes you just have to be very simple and just start basic and then work your way to something bigger and grander.
Yeah. And I know following you, that's something that you've done over the time I've known you, is just you seem to implement.
Yes.
When you take something on, you don't die trying.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, you do die trying. I don't know if I got that right or wrong.
No.
But, but you know what? Some of the things that are some of the things that are becoming that I heard being talked about today. So 2017 for you as a business owner, because you've been doing them now for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I suppose I had you on stage today talking about stuff that was probably bright, shiny light.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we've seen you doing that for
a couple of years.
18 months, 2 years now.
And it's just, being real authentic and just, doing what you say you're going to do, but do it well.
So how did you find presenting today in front of a crowd of people? Because I know it's not the first time you have, but it's a bigger crowd.
It was a bigger crowd. It's my second time. I was a little bit nervous, to be honest. But I enjoyed it. And I've had a lot of feedback, and people coming up to me and asking me more questions, and I've loved it. I love giving. I'm happy. I'm happy to feed you what I do. Happy for it.
Yeah.
So from an implementation perspective, where do you think that comes from? Because you've got that. I'll give you an example. When I decide or agree that I'm going to do something, if I don't do it, I can't sleep.
Yes.
I get to the stage where it starts to affect everything I do.
Yes,
I've got that thing. Do you have a similar sort of drive?
Yes, definitely. If I've got something to do, my mind's just still going until everything is done.
Yes.
But I think it does come down to mindset and the drive you have in yourself.
And you think that's because you have passion in what you do?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think if you don't, you need to work out ways where you can get that passion back, ways where you can get that mindset happening, so you actually want to go and be the best or go and do better than the other agent down the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk disruption. It's a bit of a buzzword at the moment in real estate. What do you see as the biggest disruptors in real estate over the next couple of years?
The next couple of years, obviously everyone talks about, AI, technology are the disruptors, which, yes, it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to, remove that human interaction that we need to keep employing into yourself and into your business. I think that's probably, yes, it's all big and scary, just like Airbnb was, but if you can't beat it, what do they say? If you can't
beat it, join it.
Join it or do better.
But we look at and there's still people out there say Airbnb is a threat.
Yeah,
And then there's other people out there that have embraced it and are actually going, hey, this is another opportunity for me to take my business to another level.
That's exactly what we've done. I haven't found it as a threat. I've actually found it as a way, okay, well, I'm going to utilise this and I'm going to make some more income off this. Yeah, being the first in your area, easy.
Yes. Yep. So your area, is a holiday destination or is it?
We're quite touristy, so we're only 3 hours from Melbourne.
Airbnb part.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We've got the Lake Hume. We've got probably 2 hours to the snow, Mount Hotham. So we are quite a touristy destination. So yeah, we've got a huge amount of Airbnb listings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. Thank you, Damien. What special advice would you give to somebody in the industry now if they're looking at what you see as happening in the future? What special advice would you give them to continue to survive and thrive?
Plan. Work out a plan and stick to it. Goals.
Yes.
Goals are great. Just tick off one goal at a time. If you don't get there and say, yeah, that's fine. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just run your own race. Be authentic, be you, be real, and just keep doing what you do. It's not all about how many properties you manage or how much money you've got. You can do things simple, and sometimes it is about quality, not the quantity.
Excellent. So we're at that point in time now where we're going to take a quick break. We're going to turn up the lights and turn up the heat, and I'm not going to do the rhyme thing that I did before. We're going to start off with the hot seat questions after the break.
No.
Okay, so hopefully you're not too nervous, and hopefully we don't break you.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you very much, and let's go to an ad, and we'll be back, after the break. Welcome back to the Hot Seat powered by Affordable Staff. Now we have Kaly here. We've gone through to an ad break, and we're about to put you on the hot seat, where we ask you some questions which hopefully... should go well.
Or I know the answers too.
Yes. Okay, so they're short questions, and if you just basically mention the first thing that comes into your mind, nice short and concise answers. If you can't think of a response, you can just basically say pass.
This is my favourite part of the interview.
This might be funny.
I get to sit here and just listen.
Yes, you get to sit there and drill. Okay, so you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Your number one bucket list item.
Disneyland.
The strangest thing you've ever eaten.
Pass.
Strangest place you've ever visited.
First thing that came to my head was toilet.
It depends. Toilet?
What?
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Hot seat.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Funny, vibrant, bubbly.
How do you spend the first 3 hours of your day?
Being a mum, getting kids ready.
Favourite drink?
Juice.
Something interesting nobody knows about you?
I'm a state New South Wales goalkeeper.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
in water polo.
There you go.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Would you prefer to be invisible or be able to fly?
Fly.
A mistake that ended up being a success?
Pass.
What's your biggest non-negotiable?
Oh, there's lots.
Just one.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll pass. Morning or night?
No.
Weapon of choice?
Knife.
Knife.
Property managers and knives.
I'm not stabbing anyone in the back.
Yeah, that's right. Biggest fear?
Heights.
If you weren't doing what you were doing now, what would you be doing?
Air hostess.
Ooh. University or School of Hard Knocks?
Hard knocks.
What advice would you give to an 18-year-old version of yourself?
Keep living.
Mondays or Fridays?
Fridays.
One item you could not live without?
Phone.
Cats or dogs?
Cat.
How much money is enough?
I'm trying to think of really.
It's the last question, by the way, so you can take your time.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Okay. Well, fantastic. Thank you very much for being on the hot seat. Really appreciate you going through and interviewing. See, that was it.
That was hot.
That was it. Did you want to go and cover any of the ones that you passed? Number one bucket list item. Do you have one?
No, I said Disneyland.
Disneyland. Strangest place you ever visited. No, you said the toilet. Okay.
Random.
I think we should stop.
Yeah. Good idea.
So thank you very much for being on the hot seat. Really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing, your experience in the industry, and excited to see what is going to happen next week.
Yeah, thank you.
We're at that point in time where
you get to do your shameless plug. So if people want to get in contact with you, how do they get in contact with you, Kaly?
They can find me on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere.
Yes.
Cool. Yep.
And I'll set links up in the show notes, so people can check that out.
Yeah, check me out, KS Property Solutions.
Yes, fantastic. And anything else that you have exciting going on at the moment?
Moving office.
Yes.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
All happening.
Onwards and upwards.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Damien.
Thank you
for coming on. Thanks, you, Kaly.
Kaly.
It was fantastic.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all again on the next episode of The Hot Seat. Thank you for listening to this episode with Kaly. And before you go, I'd ask if you enjoyed this episode that you subscribe to our podcast, which you can find if you search for The Hot Seat wherever you listen to podcasts, especially on places like Spotify and Apple. I also wanted to remind you that The Hot Seat is powered by affordable staff, and if I am 100% honest, we could not put The Hot Seat together without outsourcing. There's a lot of background work that goes into creating a podcast, and this couldn't be done without outsourcing it to our overseas team. I record the content and I send it offshore, where they handle the video, the audio, the website, the podcast distribution, the marketing, and so much more. Couldn't get AI to do that, right? So thank you very much to our team in the Philippines. Okay, that's it. Thank you again for all of your support, and we'll catch you in the next episode of The Hot Seat.